Welcome everybody to this 21st session of our ongoing Warhammer 40,000 Dark Heresy First Edition campaign that we call Hereticus. And let's just jump right into it. Chris, could you give us a recap, please?
Yes, of course. Also pointing out that it has been a little while since we last played, wasn't it, due to various real-life issues?
Yes.
But there you go.
Yeah.
So, yes, to catch everyone up. Last time, in session 20 of Hereticus, the team of acolytes on the long invaded and besieged piety of Seth have made their way to the Abbey of St. Helena's Mount, which is the Adeptus Sororitas stronghold on piety of Seth, and began their investigation into what had gone on there, looking for chaotic oblongs and things like that. Because that's what our duty is. Everything revolves around oblongs at the moment. After exploring for a bit and approaching the main cathedral, we started seeing evidence of creatures not human in nature, and with Tim getting to a high vantage point to try and provide some cover, although that didn't turn out very well. We were then quite thoroughly ambushed by a trio, I believe it was, of Dark Eldar warriors who moved faster than the speed of a man blinking, and, well, they're Dark Eldar. They are soul-eating, tittering maniacs of the...
Also obscenely dangerous in close combat.
Oh, absolutely, which they were very keen to try and get into because, well, they know their own strengths as well as we do, if not better. But turns out, for all their strengths, they were not enough. They were not strong enough, and not quick enough, and not skilled enough to deal with Sister Francesca and her incredible aiming skills with a bolter, and they were not prepared for Accolon and his horrible psychic powers, because Dark Eldar don't like psychic powers because that attracts the attention of she who thirsts, and that's the last
thing. Also known as Slanesh.
Yes, Prince of Pleasure, darling.
That was just officially creepy. Will you please not do that again?
Oh, but I have to at some point.
No!
Yes, I'm sorry.
No!
This is true. This is the grim darkness of the far future. You've got to deal with a little bit of horribleness. Anyway.
A little bit?
Understatement for the sake of... Anyway, let's move on. So yes, there was shooting, there was psychic powers, including some weird floating in the air gubbins on Accolon's part. But the end result was that all the Dark Eldar were successfully defeated. Tim was a bit hurt, because, ironically, Tim, being the one who most prepared for dealing with Dark Eldar, was the one who then couldn't deal with the Dark Eldar.
I mean, if he hadn't prepared, he would probably have died.
Exactly, so that's true. So with that cleared up, we then continued our investigation. Sister Francesca tried using a Sister of Battle frequency in order to check for survivors, and she did get in contact with a very terrified-sounding member of the Order, because again, the point is the Sisters of Battle, the Adeptus Sororitas that were on piety of Seth, were not specifically battle sisters. They were not part of the militant order, although there were some. And they basically, once we tried to get into the cathedral, we'd seen some of the horrors that were inside. We tried to go into the main area, the main chapel area, I suppose, of the cathedral. But we were informed that we should not do that because they'd rigged the entire complex to go into orbit with explosives if it was tampered with. So we went searching again, and then we heard over the radio as this terrified-sounding sororita and any other survivors she was with were found by Dark Eldar and dragged off to have horrible things happen to them. After some digging, we found a secret entrance into the catacombs beneath or catacombs if you're American, I suppose, but British English, American English. No, I'm not. So you're going to have to put up with a British person enjoying British pronunciation, ladies and gentlemen of the viewing audience. So, yes, after making our way through there, and we got a brief and horrifying glimpse of what the Dark Eldar were doing to the various sororitas in these catacombs near where the our objective lay. And Sister Francesca, being practical and not wanting to engage with these creatures in such confined conditions, chucked a belt of grenades in, which quite swiftly put an end to the Dark Eldar threat, put the tortured sisters out of their misery, and injured some of us somewhat. It was it was grim, it was dark, and it was very Warhammer, and it was wonderful. And then...
You could almost say it was grimdark.
Yes, I could say that, yes. It did lead to a slight altercation between Achelon and Francesca, because Achelon, for all his age and all his growing discipline as an acolyte in these years he's been part of the Inquisition, is still an emotionally driven creature and allowed his emotions to get the better of him at a time when he really should have kept discipline. And Sister Francesca, being a cold and emotionless husk these days, does not appreciate Achelon's pain. Oh,
Kill him, please! Can I shoot him?
God, our psycho just went full emo.
You don't understand.
He's been sheltered so much that he didn't hit puberty until now, so he's a teenager.
No.
In a moment, he's gonna flick his missing hair to the side all the time and go, "That's a lie. I know, but I can't be bothered." You know, people.
No. So the point is that GM, no. Emolon Quillan. I like that. Point being, this altercation happened. This altercation was quickly moved past, although there is a lingering issue there that needs to be addressed, I think, because it's something we can hash out once the mission is sort of done, because, as is the point, we've got a mission to finish, and we must not allow any more personal feelings to get in the way of that. We made our way to the Sisters of Battle armory and righteously liberated a kind of, I can't remember the name of it now.
An emulator tank.
Yes, which is basically you take your standard issue, or your standard STC issue Rhino APC, and mount a turret on top of it, which has a pair of heavy flamers, but very special.
Twin-linked heavy flamers in the turret. It's
yes.
just absolutely insane.
Which is very useful for us, obviously, because Medea can drive the Rhino, and Sister Francesca, being the pyromaniac that she is, will mount the turret. But before we get too comfortable driving around in our newly acquired toy, we did, out of nowhere, receive another communique over the Vox bead, which is a crackling, broken up, someone asking if there was anyone there to hear them, and that's as far as we got.
Yes, it should also be said that we did try to secure the relic armor and relic weaponry and so on that had been here in the armory.
I mean, some of it, but the point was that
not all of it. It was be impossible to take all of it, but
Yeah, I mean, you needed to have been the Sister of Battle in charge of the complex for that.
Yes.
Also, of course, the point was that we needed this device this tank because the chaotic object that we had been attempting to acquire from the vault, which no longer existed due to various Eldar gubbins, was hovering about, I don't know how many dozens and dozens of feet above us in a massive catacomb space that was left. So we had no way of actually reaching it yet.
But we did find a grappling hook, I believe.
Yes, I think you did.
But we've got a few things to deal with. We've got to deal with the strange voice over the Vox. We've got to get the device with the grappling hook. We've got to drive our tank around and burn shit. And of course, Achelon may end up having some more visions of black skeleton warrior things defacing the most holy emperor's visage.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Because someone's keen to, someone's keen to leave an impression on him that way, isn't that?
Wonder whom that might be. Also, it's worth mentioning, Aya, for your benefit, that someone whispered in Medea's head last time, and those whispers are available in the chat. If you scroll up a bit, you can see them.
I remember.
Cool. Just thought I'd mention it in case you didn't.
It was a long and interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, so where do we start, people? What are you up to?
I think we start with us in the emulator, getting on the lift to take us up to the to the surface, or on the ramp, if that was what, I can't remember if it was a ramp or a lift that would get us up to the surface of this place. But yeah, we definitely need to go do stuff, because there's somebody incoming and we couldn't hear them where we were, which I suppose makes a certain amount of sense, really. I mean, it was, we're in a pretty heavily shielded place if we're in the armory.
Yep.
It would be pretty bad if somebody put a grenade through the roof of it and just went kaplowy and the whole thing went up as a very large mushroom cloud.
Oh, that's true. That would be a bad thing.
I would prefer for that to not happen.
Yeah, me too. I think we all would, because that's terminally unhealthy.
Yeah. So basically, what the situation as you see it is that you have this this thing hovering in a spherical space where the Abbey's vault used to be, or one of them. There are 2 vaults in this facility. And you need to retrieve that, of course, because that's basically your primary mission on this planet, is to get these shapes back home to the Tricorn. And you have someone hailing you on the Vox. Like Chris said during the recaps, it's broken by static, so you didn't get a full message, only snippets of it.
I mean, that was because we were somewhat underground, although...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes. Or maybe for some other reason, but it's a perfectly good assumption to make.
It's certainly worth trying to get on the line to whoever it was now.
It sounds... I mean, I'm assuming that whoever it was, seeing as we understood it, was speaking some form of Gothic, low Gothic, probably.
No, it was high Gothic.
Ooh, that might make it that it could potentially be the Marines in that case. It could be, in which case I'm all for it. That would not be the worst kind of support to suddenly have.
I mean,
assuming Space Marines.
I mean,
Space Marine.
I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to propose that. Oh god, it's infectious. No, it might not be the Space Marines. It might be
one of them is called Timmer.
No, I did not name any of them Timmer.
Well, we should get up to the surface. That's the whole point.
I think we were riding up there anyway. So
yes, we were. We were moving to get up to the surface where we would be able to respond.
Sure. Cool. Well, so you get up to the surface. No problem.
And, at that point, responding on the same frequency, saying, who is this? Identify yourself.
So, you do get a response, but it's garbled, and you can't quite make out what it says, and there's basically a lot of static, a lot of white noise.
Well, she will, at that point, she will go, this is Almoness Francesca of the Order of the Crimson Rose. Identify yourself.
There is more static. However, and John, you need to help me here. The highest ranking member of an abbey
Yes.
What kind of
That
what
would be an
title?
abbess.
That would be an
That
abbess.
would be that would be the abbess. There would only be one of them
Yes.
at any
Okay.
given time. So yeah.
Well, so again,
And nonetheless, it's a fairly high-ranking one, and it's a title that by now she has the experience to rightfully use.
well, so there is a response again. Most of it is the same static, but you do hear the word abyss.
We did not necessarily find the corpse of such an of the abbess, but I respond, and I do so slowly, speaking very slowly to make sure that each word has the maximum potential for being picked up through the static. And I say, the abbess is unaccounted for, and then she repeats it and says, please be advised, there is heavy static.
Okay. So same thing. Some kind of message that is lost to static and
she looks down into the tank. Medea, could you try to clear up the signal? You're pretty good with tech. If not, you see if Tim, if we have Medea on the wheel. Anyway, someone needs to see if they can clear up the static on the line.
I'll try.
Thank you.
That's good. I'm afraid I am not good with tech.
Well, too bad.
I mean,
so Medea provides the proper words to appease the machine spirits and all that. She does basically
What?
everything she needs.
No, she fails. I mean, she fails.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
but the results is the same.
Right. It doesn't work. Yeah,
It doesn't work.
Wait,
Well,
where are we
do
going?
we see someone incoming? Is there like a Thunderhawk or a Valkyrie lander or something on the horizon?
Well, so you did call for reinforcements last time, if I recall. And
Yes, we did. It might also be on the ground. For all we know, there could be a incoming ground forces.
Yeah, but there is you see in the distance, you see signs of motion of some kind of vehicle incoming, lights, headlights, and all that. So there is something approaching, someone approaching. And of course, if you wait long enough, they'll eventually arrive.
Yeah, but that's the point. We, take up some kind of defensive position here with the immolator, but we have got to see what it is that's incoming.
Right. Okay, so you take up some kind of defensive position. I imagine that Tim takes the high ground.
Yes, of course.
As
I'm
usual.
so happy I don't have to say it anymore.
It's kind of helpful, isn't it?
Indeed. And
Medea checked if it's rickety. If it is, he's not allowed to go up there. He only has that many limbs.
that's true. It's so I'm going to assume that Tim chooses a building or structure that isn't rickety, is stable enough for him to actually climb up it and take some kind of overwatch position. So Tim, you're the first to see the Imperial, the chimeras bearing the. It's clear that it's the Imperial Guard that's on its way.
I see chimeras.
Can you identify the regiment at this distance? See if you can find any markings on them or numbers.
I shall attempt to do so.
For all we know, it could be one of the traitor regiments.
It could, but the insignia on the chimeras, and there are 5 of them, technically. Or in total, not technically, but in total there are 5 chimeras incoming, and they all bear the marks of the 1st regiment.
Okay, they are loyal. They were amongst the ones that defended the position, weren't they?
Indeed.
Shall I remain up here in case that has changed?
Yes, please.
Eventually the chimeras do arrive, and the guardsmen exit the vehicles and position themselves in what's it called? At attention.
Yes. Well, Francesca will get out of the chimera, not chimera, of the immolator at that point.
Rather, I don't think they're in an active combat zone, so I don't think they stand to attention. Instead, they would also point out the officers are the first to exit, and they'll set up firing positions and all that, securing the perimeter, as it's called.
I will have to say, by the way, that I find it very, very refreshing to see Imperial officers actually, leading from the front.
Yeah. And yeah, so and then a captain approaches you. He's the highest ranking officer. He comes over to where you are, and he walks to Sis Francesca. She is considered the leader of your group, and
Yes, she is.
And he salutes her. And says, "We heard your call for reinforcements, and this is it."
Yes, we do thank you for your assistance. We have encountered Xenos in this place.
Right. He says he speaks a few words into his Vox device, and basically he's making sure that his officers know this. So
there were 3 downstairs, or were they? No, 6 downstairs, right?
Yeah, I think there were 6.
6 downstairs. Yeah. So she says we have encountered at this point 9 so-called Dark Eldar and killed all of them. But there is no way of knowing if there are more or if they will be back.
Of course not. What do you need us to do?
We need to secure the entire area. Nobody goes into the cathedral. It's been rigged to explode, so that is entirely off limits. All the surrounding chapels have been swiped. We have investigated all of them. In that one over there is a tunnel that leads downstairs. We need guards on that tunnel, but we do not want anyone going down there. And if they start feeling queasy for any reason whatsoever, they need to be relieved immediately, and I need to be informed.
Understood.
That is what leads down to the now missing vault. The Xenos apparently took the entire vault.
Understood.
Yes, and she nods and says, "Oh, and Captain, thank you for the assist, for coming when we called for help. This is, as you can tell, this is serious. There isn't a single sister here surviving, not one."
Oh, it is a dire situation indeed, and yes, and he turns around and leaves to order his men around.
And that's a good thing. We if we get 5 chimeras, that's first and foremost. That's not inconsiderable firepower.
Nope.
And if it's been full of guardsmen, then yes, please, thank you very much. That's a lot of las rifles, and
yes.
Dark Eldar are not that heavily armored. Las rifles will, in fact, hurt them.
Yes, very much so. So yeah.
So indeed, and she also asks the captain, just in the before he turns around, she says it appears that the communication from the immolator that we made use of is broken. So I'm going to assume that you were able to stay in contact with home base through the entire journey here.
We have.
Excellent. I will be making use of the Chimera's radios in that case.
Right.
And see
He
it's in that
takes
way.
you to his chimera.
Yeah, the
and
command one.
Yeah,
Probably.
and basically sets you up for.
She will first. She will send out a message on the regular normal frequency to inform the general to give him a what's it called a report on what has happened here, because he needs to know. And secondly, she's going to send out a frequency on the Sisters of Battle's frequency, just on the very, very remote chance that some of her sisters may have, escaped the carnage with any of the relics and are hiding somewhere. She will send out a frequency or a radio signal on this radio, which is obviously stronger than what she's carrying around in her box speed. And seeing if she can reach anyone, and for all she knows, if the kill team is anywhere within range of that, they might pick it up. I don't know. But she does that, and it's she does not expect anything to come of it, but it's just on the absolute off chance.
Okay. So she sends out this message.
Yes.
And a few moments go by before there is an actual response, and I think it now makes sense to Sister Francesca why she couldn't hear it before. Now, as you said, she's working with better equipment than she was with her own rock speed, more powerful equipment at least, and so there is a response, and it's in a whisper, and
yes.
The whisper says, "This is Abbess Iasara. We are currently hiding within the cathedral itself." And that's probably why most of the responses earlier weren't picked up, was because of the whispering she's doing.
Oh, right. Well, at that point, Francesca says, "Abbess, this is Ominous Francesca of the Order of the Crimson Rose, seconded to the Inquisition. It's an incredible relief to hear your voice. We feared that there would be no survivors. We have taken control of the complex. We have Imperial Guardsmen, loyal Imperial Guardsmen out here, as well as armor, protect the perimeter. We have killed a total of 9 Xenos in this cleansing of this holy place. Is there anything we can do to get you out? Is it possible for you to move down from the cathedral to the what is it called? To the vault area underneath it? Because we found 6 of the Xenos down there and the missing vaults, and we destroyed them.
That's good to hear, but there will be more of them. They have a disturbing ability to blink in and out of existence.
Yes, we noticed.
So you must be aware and alert at all times. But no, there's no way for us to reach the vaults. They've rigged every square inch of this building. They've used.
How do we resolve that?
We don't. You consider us lost, and you retrieve whatever you can retrieve from this place, and you leave it.
Yes, Abbess, your word is my command. You will be remembered, and you will sit at the right hand of the God Emperor.
The Emperor protects.
The Emperor protects. I will, my sister. Francesca ends the call, looks back to the others with an ashen face, and she says, "We now have clear instructions. There are undoubtedly more of the Xenos around. We need active Auspex sweeps from the onboard Auspexes in the Chimeras, as well as any personal Auspexes carried by any of the guardsmen or officers present. We need to move as many of the relics in the armory down that ramp, and we need to leave this place under orders of the abbess."
Understood.
We consider the location lost. She looks like saying that brings her unbelievable pain.
I'll do a scan for heat signatures.
And that's basically, as you say that, Tim, that's when you notice a presence behind you.
Ah.
So, this fellow, this presence behind you, gets to attack you once,
Yes.
and let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
Why are they picking on Tim? What's he done to them?
Because
He's isolated.
Because
Yeah.
he's isolated, indeed.
Well, that's just... It's just... Emelon getting his dander up about the situation.
So let's see. Actually, he does. Well, so fortunately for you, the blade he uses isn't.
Oof, and I already have some wounds.
Yes, you do. So let's see. I'm giving him some severe bonuses because he didn't even need them, and you don't get to dodge this one.
Makes sense.
Let's see. The damage is as follows, and the weapon's penetration is 2.
I assume body.
Yes.
Okay.
Goes for your heart. 5 points of damage.
So I get to subtract 1 because I have armor 3, yes? And then my toughness.
And then
Yes.
your toughness. So it may not, maybe, but there is another thing to this. Let's
Poisoned?
see.
Well, it's only 1 damage then because I subtract 4
Yep.
total then.
That is cool. Maybe he underestimated you by using his weakest weapon.
Why would you Tim would scold him for that.
Yeah, I imagine he would.
It's quite likely that he would do so because he doesn't consider you worthy prey.
Even if it's not worthy prey, that's incredibly stupid.
They are arrogant.
Oh boy, are
Hugely
they?
so.
Now I just imagine ow, you stabbed me. You have something way better. Why did you not use that? I am so fucking disappointed in you.
Here's the
And
thing,
then
though.
go on a tirade with him.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Here's the thing, though. You need to roll me a toughness test
I knew it.
with a minus 5 penalty to that toughness test.
Fuck.
I
Come on. You don't want to fail this one.
I think I might.
Yep.
Reroll.
Wait, what? Oh, target is 30. Yes, of course.
Yes. I think I'll reroll that one.
Okay.
Rapidly running out of reroll.
Yep.
Well,
We're
you
not
get a
even
fresh
done
set
with
of
the
rerolls plus
first
increase.
one.
Nope.
No, it's not.
So we'll see.
Don't?
Hey!
Don't we get a fresh set of rerolls whenever we start playing?
Yes,
Yeah, we
but I've
do.
already used one on a GM roll.
Yes,
Oh, right.
yes. And the fun thing is, I asked him for an awareness test via Whisper, and he rolled 87, and then he re-rolled it, and he rolled 86. So
Well, it's an improvement.
But this meant that I did actually make it.
yes, and so what happens is that you feel something as it spreads. Basically, this dude jams a blade down through your between your shoulder blades, and you feel something as it spreads. What?
Love? Is it love I feel?
No, it's definitely not love. It is something that might have actually just because I'm curious.
I imagine it could have done some very
an additional 6 points of damage had you failed it. So
yeah, there would be no armor on that.
No armor or toughness.
Ooh.
So yeah.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, that would have been bad. But as it is, your body is able to fight against it. And let's roll initiative, because we'll need to see if he gets to act again.
Oh, he probably does.
So
that's 1d10 plus agility modifier, yeah?
Yes. Remind me, Tim, is your Vox speed open? I assume it is, but
considering I just spoke into it.
Yeah, good point. So basically, the rest. I'm going to assume then that you let out some kind of.
I'm going to scan for heat signatures. Ah!
Something to that effect, and the rest of you hear this.
And then a tirade of, "You had something stronger, you bastard! You fucking dare you!"
We have hostiles.
So let's see, D10 plus.
Now I just imagine him going like disappointed dad on his face because he did that. You could take me down in one if you weren't that arrogant, you little bitch.
What was that roll? Oh, another
initiative.
Okay, so he gets to act again.
Do the rest of us not roll initiative?
Well, so yeah, let's set up something. Let's see. Let's do like we'll set up a thing, and I'll just.
Agility, right?
It's your agility bonus. Remember, if you have unnatural agility, you get to double. I think.
Or if you have lightning reflexes.
Yes.
Yes.
If you could enter your initiative scores into the box in rule 20.
And I think Francesca will say, draw him to the edge so we can shoot him.
Yeah, she did. She did quite well last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, which one gave you double that?
Lightning reflexes, a talent.
Indeed. Oh.
Wow.
Not impressive, but we're never going to be before them anyway. So.
Oh, they are insanely fast.
Well, I could have taken lightning reflexes, but I were an idiot and didn't.
You can take it next time, they can afford it then.
Indeed. I'm going to assume that the Dark Eldar comes first.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I mean,
because we don't like him.
I mean, considering how they get their jollies off, I imagine he does come first.
Emolon, go away.
You love me. No, this isn't Emolon. This is the other one. This is Pervilon.
This is Sassilon.
Yes, Sassilon.
In this case, I think Pervilon.
Okay, I'm just gonna create a list of them. I'm just gonna create a list of them now.
So yeah, Akalon and Medea, you also need to enter your initiative scores into the box.
Where?
The box on roll 20.
You just write it.
There is no box.
Yes, there is. In the middle of the map.
Should be.
There is a huge as galaxy.
You would just shifting to it.
Oh, that box. The box that fills the entire area behind my character thing. Yes, that box. Okay.
Because you had your character sheet open.
I have my character sheet open and went, there's no box! Like a complete idiot.
It's all good. It's all good.
There is no box because I don't see it.
You can't really prove that it exists if you can't sense it, can you? Well, you can because, science, but...
Yeah. So let's see what this fellow can do on his second attack. He's done his
At least
surprise, and
At least there's a
Please
chance you
don't
can dodge it now.
yes, you absolutely do have the ability to dodge it.
Please don't murder Tim. This is just the second time he went on a high place because he needed something to look out
Jesus
over.
wept.
Holy shit! Yeah, okay. he hits.
So, Tim, would you like
Is that
to? No, it's still still a regular
It's just a hit.
Okay, yes, I would like to attempt dodging.
Crits are only rolled when you take enough damage. Remember?
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
However, if he had had a full auto weapon, that would have been an amazing roll for him.
Yeah, it would have been.
Right, I would definitely like to try and dodge that.
Cool.
No one can understand that. I mean, come on.
Sad face.
God damn it.
How
Sad
the hell you rolled
face.
98? 98.
Wow.
So he rolled 2, you rolled 98.
It's
Oh,
probably
sorry.
because he isn't used to his new legs, so that just jumped way better than the other one, and he tipped over or something.
Yeah. So 5 points of damage. How much does that? Is that then 1 point of damage?
Yes.
Okay. So you then
If
roll.
it's still 10 too.
Yeah, it's the same weapon, so same numbers apply. So you'll need to roll me another one of them there toughness tests.
-5?
-5.
Right, I'll use my last reroll for that.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
It would be so
a good
sad
choice.
if you finally drew Tim's new look and then had to give him a new eye too because he got poked out by a elder.
Yeah.
You succeeded at least in the second attempt. We need to kill this shit now.
So Tim, it's your turn.
Yes, so I have a question.
Yes.
And it might sound weird, but what is this thing wearing? Or rather, does it wear a helmet or anything like
Yes, it wears a helmet. No, let's say it doesn't. Let's say you see the pale elven face with some
If it's
kind of.
Scourge, if it's Scourge, they rarely wear helmets.
This one isn't a
Oh,
scourge.
sorry,
but,
not Scourges. Sorry, what the hell are they called? The ones on the well, yeah.
um,
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, but this
Never
one
mind.
doesn't wear a helmet, so you see it's elven-ish face with long ears, slender features, and a long black hair, as it grins wickedly at you.
Witches, is what they're called, the ones.
Yeah,
Right.
this is not a witch. This is not a
No.
witch.
I mean, this is probably just a basic box standard warrior. But if it's a witch, you're dead.
Well, what I want to do, because he's close and I can't really get out of reach, but
Nope.
he's... Oh, she, I don't know if it's a he or she, but it is sadly unprotected. So, half action to open a bag in my bandolier and an action to throw powdered glass in its eyes.
Okay.
That's
Well,
actually a pretty good idea.
I'm like, he sees its face, and then throws
yeah.
eyes in its face.
I mean, that's what he practiced.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, it certainly does to me.
It can attempt to dodge, and it will.
It probably will.
That is spot on. Its dodge is 67, so it actually makes it. It sidesteps nonchalantly and continues to swing at you, but it won't be able to do that just yet.
If he sidesteps, is there any chance that he gets close enough to the edge that we can see his head again?
No, not at this point.
Alright, then I'll have to move up on higher ground.
Speaking of higher ground, it is Medea's turn. Do you want to do... So, basically what you've heard is Tim's scream of pain. So
Her only response to that is, "Don't you fucking dare die!"
Something tells me that Rasmus wants his character to die.
Why? It's not my fault I get attacked by Elder all the time.
So how long would it take to get up there?
it'll take... So, in terms of rounds, I think if you want to get up onto the rooftop, it'll take you, let's say, 4 rounds to do that.
Would it be faster if Sister Francesca threw me?
I can't.
She can't throw you that far.
She's not got superhuman strength. She's only got a small bonus from the armor that she's wearing.
If she were a space marine, she might, but she isn't.
Space Marine.
Marines, but they have
They-
also got a natural strength.
Yes, they are superhuman in every sense of the word.
But 4 rounds is too long.
Hmm.
I
Well,
mean, that's
you-
4
you-
rounds of that thing attacking Tim.
I mean, you did isolate him up there on the
I
rooftop.
didn't! He fucking isolated himself up there!
Well, I don't.
That is a good point.
I don't. I didn't hear any objections.
No.
That's because I were doing something else. I
It's-
did say be right back.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you.
I think after she says, "Don't you fucking dare die up there," she then continues with, "And what is it going away from us all the time?"
Tim is too busy to answer.
I don't really understand why. Rude much? She continues to swear at him while she tries to find a faster way up there.
Okay, cool. So
If she spends 10 or 4 fucking rounds going up there, he'll be string salad by the time she gets up there. He'll be one of those new aubergine fetishes where you make them into pasta.
well, so 4 rounds is the fastest you'll be able to get up there, barring any kind of miracles such as
Oh,
Space
wait,
Marine
I think I have a
swooping in.
run thingy. Second.
That's actually a good point.
That might cut a round off it.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Let's see. Ba-dum-bum.
Isn't that an actual action to, run and
Yeah,
be faster or something like that?
Yeah, if you run at basically you have various kinds of movement speed. It should be on your character sheet, and the one farthest to the right is basically if you choose to run in a round. It's a full action, and I'm looking at the wrong character sheet, and it gets you that number of meters. Let's see if I can find it. Does it say? Yeah, so if you run, Medea, you can run 30 meters. And basically, if you do that, I'll remove 1 round from the 4, meaning that if you don't do anything except run, you'll get up onto the roof in 3 rounds.
Well, she stops the string of profanities because she can't when she needs to run or sprint as fast as she's learned.
That's a
She'll
good point.
continue scolding him when she reaches him.
Sure. Okay. So, I'm just reading Sister Francesca's accusations that Tim has for some reason pleaded with me to kill off Tim. Speaking of Francesca, it's your turn.
Yes. Francesca will, realizing that getting up there is not going to be fast enough, she's going to instead. I mean, she's by the chimera that she's just been talking on the radio in, pretty much. So she's going to get up on the roof of that thing. That's going to give her more elevation and hopefully allow her to at least see that thing's head.
Okay, so Tim, when you set up a position up on the roof, how do you do that? Do you position yourself by the edge of the roof, or how do you?
I mean, it's going to be difficult to see something if I have a roof blocking like 30% of my view.
Well, so you
yes.
know at this point what you needed to observe was far away in the distance, which means that
That's
you
true.
wouldn't have to.
What kind of roof?
Let's say it's a flat roof.
With
then
like
you-
an edge.
Yeah, there is an edge, but yes.
Then he would have sat so he could easily see cover behind the edge and still look out over everything, because again, if he needs to see far away but also keep an eye on the people, the group, he would want to be able to look down at them as well.
Works. Okay, so climbing up onto a chimera is going to be. I'm going to say that it's a full action.
I expected it would take me the whole round.
Yeah, but then you should, unless things change up on the roof, you should be able to see it and do something next round.
Yes.
At this point, when you stand on top of the chimera, you can absolutely see the pale Eldar face.
It's also something, there is something slightly epic about her, standing on top of,
I agree.
Of a tank with the what's it called, the cloth items on the Sister of Battle's armor, flowing in the wind.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, I just have mental image this year. Let me just fangirl a little.
It's so good. Akelon, your turn. Are you muted?
Akelon? Are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute for a second. Yeah, I'm not sure what I do, to be honest, because I can't see. I'm not particularly fast or agile. But,
Heal me!
I'm not sure I can do that from this distance.
Why not? What's the range on it? Let's look it up. One moment.
Yes, you'll be able to get a quick look at than I will.
The DPS character needs healing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but I'm not a dedicated healer.
What is
DPS
your
character doesn't care.
What is the power you're trying to use?
It's
Mine
called-
is psychic power heal.
Yes, let me just... I've got...
Heal or healer?
A healer, yes. Healer.
Okay, range 10 meters, so you won't be able to do that.
No.
Can't he extend the range by adding a difficulty or something? Isn't there something about that?
Yeah,
Range...
I should have taken this one. Sprint.
Is-
Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds
well,
like it might have
No.
been useful.
Yeah.
So, as far as I can tell, at least you're not able to use that psychic ability to heal Tim.
I need healing.
Well, then you shouldn't have gone up to the fucking roof alone.
That's kind of what he does, though.
This is why in real life snipers have spotters.
Yes.
Among other things.
Exactly.
Except those spotters are sitting there with binoculars, focused entirely with tunnel vision on their target.
Yes,
That's also true.
but on the upside, if there had been more than one up there, one of us would have been up there with him when he were attacked and could have shot the bastard in the face.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
So-
that's not a thing.
Yeah, these are
But I know I'm taking Sprint next time, and I'm taking Jaded because fuck him.
Fuck him.
Okay, I'm gonna start Aklon's gonna break into a run to try and get to where he might be able to see Tim and his hateful foe.
Okay, so he doesn't necessarily want to get up there. He just wants to get to a position where he can see Tim.
I mean, none of the powers I have that would actually help him beyond, I don't know, something that could make, but beyond maybe using a force bolt on the Dark Eldar would actually be within range up there. So
All right. So here's the thing. If you take a full action to go somewhere, I'll say that, and it'll be up to you where that is. But I'll say that next round you can act because you can see both Tim and the Dark Eldar.
Yeah, this is where someone would wish that Medea was smarter than she is.
yeah,
Speaking-
no, it's
Hmm?
yeah. So I will move to get in a position where I can see them both,
Okay.
rather than get close to them, because melee combat is stupid.
Tim,
That's me.
would you like to dodge?
I very much would like to try.
Okay.
Because I'm out of rerolls.
That reminds me.
Oh look,
Good.
Aha.
That is a dodge. So he swings or stabs with his blade once again, and
Taps
you
and misses.
He misses indeed. So, Tim, it's your turn.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Because, I have written down that crack grenades are directional. What exactly does that mean?
So it means that you position it in a manner so that basically I think it's a cone effect. Really.
Yeah, it is. It's a shape charge.
Similar to cone attacks in Pathfinder or whatever.
So I could totally, use it in a way that doesn't harm myself.
You could.
I sense a but.
Well, so
you still have to throw the grenade. The reason why it's so effective is if you hit a tank, for example, there's practically no way you can avoid the cone hitting the tank. But if you throw it now, it could, strictly speaking, point in any direction when it lands, including back at yourself. And you can't hold it in your hand while doing this because it becomes white hot when it does so, and it's still, it still actually detonates. It will take your hand off.
Indeed, that's basically what I. So yeah, my point was, you could try, but there are many circumstances that makes it extremely dangerous for you to do so.
Good to know. How far down is it from the roof?
Oh, how far down is it? So you needed a good vantage point.
I did.
I'd say. And this is the 41st millennium, so buildings are massive things. I'd say 30 meters.
And with my new leg giving me a bonus
I have an
jumping
idea.
and leaping, would that be a survivable height?
Well, so I'd need to look up falling then, because
You don't need it to be. You were the one who picked up the grappling hook.
I was?
Yes. I'm pretty sure you were the one who picked up the grappling hook.
Yeah.
Specifically because you're the one who's the best shot at hitting with it.
In that case, yes, I will need, of course, a distraction, but that's doable.
It's called Francesca and the bolter.
Yes, but if I start climbing over the edge now, he's gonna hit me.
Yes, and also he doesn't really know exactly where Francesca is in relation to him.
No, but I'm pretty sure.
So I know what to do.
He will be, aware.
Sure.
Tim uses half action to get the item, and then closing his eyes at the right moment uses another of the flash grenades.
Oh, right. Excellent.
Okay, so what he does this round, as I hear it, is basically to detonate one of these flash things, blind grenade or whatever it is called.
Yes.
Okay, and if I recall correctly, last time I gave them a dodge to see if they managed to avert their eyes.
I believe you did.
In time, and I'll do the same this time.
I should have used a smoke grenade instead.
Jesus Christ.
It really
Heine
does.
never fails his rolls, really. We know well he does, but it's exceptionally rare.
Yeah. The point is that these are Dark Eldar. Any role they have involves dodging.
Yes.
They are going to succeed.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Also, however, I must still thank you for doing this because that means he doesn't have a dodge against my shot.
No, he doesn't. So that's the thing. You detonate your blind grenade, and I'm going to assume that you close your eyes doing that.
Yeah, he said so.
Oh, cool.
So.
And
just at the right moment.
Yeah, makes sense. You know how long it takes for a blind grenade to detonate.
Yeah,
and
with all the gadgets he's picked up, I imagine Tim has been using quite a lot of time practicing.
Yep, absolutely. So it makes sense. So you aren't affected by it, but unfortunately, neither is the Dark Eldar. He averts his gaze just in time for him to avoid the effects of this grenade. Medea has been be right back again. So I think we'll continue on to Francesca. At this point,
she's running anyway to get up there.
Yeah, she is. So at this point, you do have his head is exposed at least.
Well, I have to take a cold shot on his head then. Obviously.
Yes, you do.
But that means I have a minus 20, isn't it?
Yes, cold shot is.
Yes.
If I recall correctly.
Then I'm going to snap off I'm going to take a full round action and use a burst because that's a +10. and I also have.
I
a
don't
targeter.
think you. I don't think you can cold shot with bursts, but
Let's check that to see if you can or if you can't. Let's just see. Because if I can't, then I'll obviously.
Yeah. Then you'll do something else.
But
Yeah.
let's see. Cold shot. Cold shots. 198.
198. Okay. Cold shot. Weapon. Oh, you can. No, you can't. No, you can't. Note: you cannot make cold shots when firing a weapon on semi-automatic or full automatic fire.
Oh, in that case, she's obviously going to
Single shot it.
Single shot it and aim first, because in that case she gets
plus 10.
She gets plus 10 for that, and she has a targeter that gives her another plus 10.
So that basically negates
that offsets
the penalty. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That's the penalty. Wait, what?
I don't see an actual.
No, that's really weird.
Is that when it's spot on?
No, I don't.
No, I don't
it
think
should
so.
still.
Let me just
try again.
Yeah, exactly. Just gonna do it like this. Now I'm gonna use a reroll up with.
Okay.
That's better.
That's much better. So you hit him. He doesn't have a dodge. So, and he doesn't wear a helmet or anything. So,
So let's see
damage
how
away.
much damage I can do.
Yes.
8 points of damage for.
Well, so the pen
penetration.
isn't relevant in this case.
No, he's not wearing.
Let's see what his toughness is. Though. So that brings him down to 5. Okay, so you absolutely hit him. It doesn't kill him. He takes.
Question.
Yep.
Wasn't there that thing about headshots specifically?
Right,
being,
that you
that's a good point. That's a good point.
that's true. So thank you for remembering. That means whatever goes through is multiplied by 0.5.
I mean, I am the sniper. If anyone's going to remember.
It's true.
Okay, well, he's still standing though.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that hurt.
Yeah. So what Tim sees as the Dark Eldar is hit by a bolter shell is basically his face becomes a mishmash of
Lacerated.
red and
Lacerated mess, basically.
yeah, basically, and but he is still able to continue his fight, and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't. Well, he makes a small grunt of pain, but that's it. And you know it hurt. You can see it. Basically, half his face has been removed. So, but
Yeah.
Now, please shoot him.
Akalon,
It's your turn. Please
Akalon, your
shoot
turn.
him.
And yes, Akalon, as soon as this round is over, we'll take our first break.
Okay, so as you said, I now should be able to see.
Both of them, yes.
Right, I'm trying to find. I need to go back to the psychic powers list. Scrolling through this core rule book on as
Which
a
one are you
PDF.
using?
Force
Force
bolt. Yes, that's the only one I've got that I think has the range.
I believe so, but let's just make absolutely sure.
But you see, scrolling through this.
What is it called? It's called telekinesis, right?
It's under telekinesis.
Let's find it here. Telekinesis. Force bolts has a range of 10 meters times your willpower bonus, so it'll easily be within range.
Yes, it would be.
Yes, 60 meters maximum, so 30 meters is half the range.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yes, I need to figure out what I'm rolling again. It's been so long.
It's all good. It's all good.
You roll your power, or up to your power level, in up to your power level in psychic power level in dice in D10, and then you add your willpower bonus.
Yes, it's 3d10 plus.
Yes. If you want to roll all of them, you can choose to roll less.
Please roll a 9. Please roll a 9.
But will you shut up with the rolling nines, please? Okay, and I get a power well bonus to this, which I believe is +1. So that's 3d10 plus 7.
All right.
I need to get to 13.
Okay.
Well, you already.
Oh,
have.
look, a 9!
Ooh, a 9.
There is also a. The 10 doesn't matter in this case.
No, but
that
you
is
do
a massive,
exceed
massive
the
roll.
the threshold.
I'd say don't re-roll this one. Take the psychic phenomenon, because that is an absolutely stonking amount of damage you're going to do to him.
Yes,
You're
that's-
going to
Yeah,
have overbleed is for every 5 points you overbleed by, you do 1 additional damage, and that means 20. That means 18. So that's an extra 3 points of damage on top of what you already do.
Alright, so let's roll that psychic phenomenon.
Yes.
It's 1d100.
D100,
yes?
please.
1d100. Happy days. 23.
Oh, happy day.
Nice low
23,
roll.
you say? Lame.
What?
So basically, any kind of food you have, you guys, goes stale.
Yeah, fair enough.
Eh.
Rations gone.
Rations and
donuts.
water is gone now. Yeah. So
I mean, that one isn't bad, but it could be potentially lethal.
Yeah, it could be. But
yes,
in this
it
case,
could.
it's
In
hopefully not
this
so
case,
bad.
not for the big, because standing outside of this radius are several Imperial Guardsmen, so you should be fine.
Okay, I now need to roll a d10 to deal impact damage.
Yes.
Let's see, plus the however many. How many extra do you say it was?
It's extra +3 on top of what you already do.
Okay, give me a second. So it's 1d10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, you're gonna probably squish him. I imagine you're gonna take his head
11.
off. Still, that's a lot of damage
Mm-hmm.
on top of what I've already done. Remember?
And it's psychic damage, so
Squish.
Yes.
Well, he can subtract his toughness, but that's it.
of course.
Yes.
Little
So
fantasy powers.
first this Dark Eldar is hit in the head with a bolter shell, making half his face vanish, and then he's hit by. Well, so Tim, at this point you recognize a force bolt when you see it. You've seen it before,
Yeah.
and the other half of his face is removed, and he collapses.
I think that it's a short second, and then Tim's voice comes over the box beam. Thank you. This is getting
10.
old.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have taken as much from the as much of the as many of the relics as we could cram into the immolator and still fit us. She looks at the captain and says, "Do you have any men here who can drive a ground vehicle that is not already driving one of the chimeras?"
So as you say this, and
Yes.
there's going to be a response, but Tim,
Yes?
you see, blinking into existence out of apparently thin air, are 2 more of these Dark Eldar.
By me, or
Yeah, up on the roof with you.
Get down. Use
I'm
the
under
boat.
attack.
No one else sees this.
Use the grappling hook. Get down here immediately.
On my way. That is what Tim attempts to do.
Okay, well he can do that. No worries. I'm going to need a climb check though, because you're doing this pretty fast, and this is not routine in any way.
Any modifiers for having a climbing hook and a rope?
No, that basically means you don't get any penalties for doing this,
Yeah.
because these guys are running towards you, and you know how fast they are.
Welcome back, AJ. We killed the first one, and now 2 more are coming. I fail my climb check to get down from the roof.
Okay. Let's just see here. Blah 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 blah. A failed test. Oh.
Didn't you get extras from your limbs in climbing?
Not in climb, I don't think, no. It was for fine motor skill or jumping and leaping.
Okay. Here's the problem. If you start climbing, On a failed test, you fall from your starting climbing position.
Yay.
That's 30 meters.
Yes.
That will kill you outright.
Well, let's see if it will.
Almost certainly. But let's
Fine.
see.
I don't disagree, but let's be fair and then see if there's
Yeah, absolutely.
anything in the rules that can
I do
save
get
us.
I do get a +20 to acrobatics, to jumping and leaping. Does this falling count as a jump?
Nope, it doesn't. It counts as a fall.
Well, it was worth trying.
I agree. I agree. Why can't I find falling damage? Oh god, this thing. Let's see. Okay, we'll do something else. Well, let's do this. Let's take our first break, and then we'll be back after I've found the rules for falling. So.